Nice piece of meat. Lovely piece of cake. Nice cup of tea. It's great for the day. Flying in my plane. I don't feel no pain. A lovely piece of cake. And a nice cup of tea. Flying over Moy, not a flying toy. Behind the plane, you might go insane. Down the river, boy, twitching on the turns, meander and you learn. Welcome to the stream. A quick blast, you know what I mean? Flying in my machine. Feeling pretty sweet, lovely piece of meat, and a nice cup of tea, lovely bit of cake. Credit to the snake, credit to the snake. Two-four, thank you very much. Very, very kind. Lovely stuff. Bring that down a touch there. And thank you very much there, Tupo, from the tip. And we're actually just flying over the Moy here, just to get back into the swing of things. It's been a while, but I'm very, very pleased to be back. Behind the yoke, which is I think what you call the technical term for this thing here, inside the Cessna. It's a beautiful Cessna. We're just flying over the River Moy at the moment, following that from Ballina to its source, I think, up in the hills. Mount Falcon over there, so that would suggest that maybe we're heading towards FOXFORD. I'm not sure. Father Gluten, thank you very much, and Schult and Conrad, thank you very, very much there for the tip there, Conrad. And turn that drum and bass off for a moment just so that I can hear myself dig. I need to get my bearings as well because I can't actually see where the hell I'm going. I don't know where I'm at. It's only a quick flash because I have to go and get the car rechecked. Failed the NCT there a few weeks ago because the brake, the pipes or something were pitted. The brake pipes were pitted. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about that myself, so I had to take it in. So I'm going back again then to Castlereagh to get it checked out. That's due at 4:30. So I mean, look, probably get about 2.5 hours in, 2.5 hours of flying time, maybe a bit of landing, and we'll see how we get on. Paul Mishkel, thank you very much there, and your ma'am drives a Nissan Qashqai. Thank you very much there for the tipperoonies. Apologies there for being on the echo voice. I hope you're okay about that, and you're not too dismayed about that. Zig, thank you very much for the tip. I'm just going to swing this around here because I want to see what we're dealing with here. I believe we were just flying over Mount Falcon Estate, which, if you don't know, it's a beautiful piece of land. Just between FOXFORD and Ballina. Probably more towards Ballina than FOXFORD. Maybe it's actually Knockmore. Dan, thank you very much there for the tip, Dan. And they do some great falconry there, which I would seriously recommend going and getting a look at if you ever get the chance to do that. Having a little goosey gander here. Gwen, thank you very much there. Good to see you. There's Mount Falcon, so there we should have... Oh yeah, okay, so we're heading down south now. Ballina behind us. Mount Falcon just ahead of us here. There might actually be a landing spot down there. We might even land on Mount Falcon just to try and see if we've still got it, if we still have it in the tank. That's going to be a tough one. I'm not really, I'm not feeling confident about the landing there. I'm going to have a few more attempts at landing, and maybe on a strip as well, before going full hog and trying to land on something so small as that down there. Got joining us today in the plane is I think it's a lady. I'm not sure. She's the hair tied back. She does have the hair tied back. And fair play to her. Pete, thank you very much there. I hope you're getting on well, Pete. Look at the majesty of the River Moy here. It's exceptional. We're not going to be heading to the little coffee hut today, no such thing. It's purely a River Moy sojourn, and we wouldn't have the time to make it to Tullamore and then back anyway. But look at the beauty of these trees here. Lovely forestry. And look at that backdrop as well. Sensational stuff. Kenny Waffles, thank you very much there, Kenny Waffles. I beg your pardon. We don't want to stray too far from the Moy here. I might even try and land in FOXFORD. Maybe even down by the O'Hara's factory, because I was actually trying to drum and bass waffle my way through a bit of an intro there, and I had transfixed in my mind a lovely piece of beef, a sweet piece of beef, and a lovely slice of cake. And I thought of the lovely O'Hara's Battenbergs and Oxford lunch, or maybe even FOXFORD lunch. Thank you very much, Ross Kemp, Tobes, Kinky John Fowler. Very, very kind of you, lads. Just to reiterate to you, lads, it's a short blast. I'd say 2.5 hours max, because the car has to be NCT'd. There's rumours that the nephew will be back with Fallout later on. However, they are just rumours at the moment. Pure and utter rumory is being dished out on this stream. But all I can say is I'm very, very happy with the way the River Moy is looking today. I looked out the window earlier on, the weather wasn't that great, but this looks very nice indeed. Thank you very much, Tobes, and to Ross Kemp as well, who says, just had a feed. Lovely feed for the lunch at the pub. Great to be following you back up to the skies. There's a lad next to me drinking a pint of Guinness with a straw. Maybe an idea for hands-free in-flight pinting. Now that is an idea and a half, which I have not had myself. And you know that you should never... It would maybe set a bad precedent. I'm not really too sure I want to do that. Because you should never ever drink and drive. But then you never hear anybody say you should never drink and fly. So perhaps, is that a loophole? Is that a loophole there? We don't know. We might never know. Final Fantasy for mana, thank you very much. And a boggy bit of business, thank you very much as well. Not much bogland here. I think we've great land. And here we are, we're heading over the lovely little township of FOXFORD. Let's go in for a closer inspection here. Beautiful stuff. Out to the train station. Look at the area here, it's absolutely stunning. Look at this. Wanty, thank you very much. Final Fantasy for mana, thank you very much. Lovely stuff. That's Pontoon. You've Massbrook, I think, over there. Connor saying, or Omar saying the forests are all destroyed. I'm not sure if there's been a bit of forestry going on or a bit of felling. But you cannot help but appreciate the absolute magisterial beauty of this part of Mayo. Thank you very much, Kingsley, for the tip. Very, very kind of you. How are you, Tom? Is that none other than Charlene Spiteri you're giving a lift to? Let's have a look. There's a bit of a Spiterian look about her. Need to actually turn this around. See, the funny thing is, you get into the cockpit, she's gone. Or actually, maybe it's Spiteri that's flying the plane, I'm not sure. Thank you very much, Jordani. And I love drinking, thank you very much, and Kingsley. Yeah, there she is. It could really be a Spiterian situation. We've pontoon over here. We're flying in low without a license. I'm self-taught. Selbridge Snooker Club, how are you? Thanks very much for that. Tell you, Selbridge is an unknown, uncharted territory for us in terms of flying. In fact, I think we never even got round to Dublin back in 2020, which was a solid month of flying. And Owen Morgan, thank you very much for the tip as well. So Leinster truly is an untouched land as far as our plane has gone, or it's untouched skies, which will have to be definitely flown over at some point. Now, there's a lovely forest that's open to the public down here. If you're ever this part of Mayo, you can head up to FOXFORD and then head towards the train station, or head towards the to Pontoon. And you can take the dog for a walk out around here. There's a lovely bit down there. It's in right at the forest, and the nice thing is also you can actually head down to the beach after if it's a nice day. A walk on the beach is nice with the dog. What that is there is a point of interest right there. I'm not sure if we fly by it, will it let us know what it is? It's great having the little indicators. I don't think Connor Williams has been here. Zig, I think it's if he does come west, he's usually out at Westport Way or Lewisburg, where I believe he has some sort of property out there. And Cloud Strife, thank you very much for the tip there. Not many clouds to be striving through today anyways. It seems to be a clear one. Although I stuck the head out the window earlier on, it wasn't great. But yesterday was fantastic, the first day of spring, technically the first day of spring, and boy oh boy, did it spring, and it sprung hard. There was a real buoying of it. And it got up to temperatures reached an absolutely balmy and insane 11 degrees where I was. Nice temperature, little wind. 20th of March, the equinox. Spring is here. Spring is well and truly here. Thank you very much, Bell and Spurling. Very, very kind of you, who simply says, fly my pretty. And Jacob Rees-Mogg MP, thank you very much there for your tip. Now, back to FOXFORD again. And we have Broad Hill is just here behind FOXFORD town. Let me just double check I'm correct in saying that. Yes, Broad is here, because you can climb up the side of it here, I think. There's a road, yeah. And then there's a pathway which brings you up here. And interesting story about that. I think it was World War II plane or pilot was flying and he ran out of petrol or something and flew over Broad Hill. And I think the plane might have actually flew over the hill and crashed. Now, this was told to be by a fella in the pub, so I'm not 100% sure, but he seems like a very genuine guy, and he said that the plane flew over the hill here, and the people down the town there were watching and saying, and were thinking, what the hell is going on with this guy? And he ended up crash landing, and I think he ejected. People there in the chat saying it sounds extremely reliable. I'd love to get some confirmation on that. But the guy who told me was a very nice guy indeed, and knew a lot about the history in the area. I think it was in Geary's. Could have been in Jordan's. I'm not peddling lies. And there we have the FOXFORD, the fabled and famous FOXFORD Woolen Mills, right there, where you can get a lovely lunch inside their cafeteria. I heartily recommend it. It's beautiful stuff. We don't want to stall this. We're taking a liberty here. And there we have the FOXFORD Community Centre right there, where you can play a lovely bit of bingo. Or, if you want to, go for a workout session in the gym. It simply has everything you could possibly want if you're into gymming and bingo. And Jukebox Connors sends his regards. Thank you very much. Last time I tipped during the flight stream to wish Flembag and 9 Mil Jill on their engagement. That was 2020. There hasn't been a wedding. There still hasn't been a wedding, you say. I'd like to take this chance to publicly withdraw those wishes, says Jukebox. Thanks for the tip and apologies there. Maybe we heard about a wedding, I'm not sure. Burno, thank you very much there. Thoughts on County Leitrim? An all-round great county. And I would rate that county 9.5 out of 10. And I'm only saying 9.5 because I haven't gone flying on it. So I'm sure that the extra 0.5 will come to light when I get to fly over it. And apologies there. I hope I haven't done anybody a disservice there or upset anybody about that. But I cannot give any place a full 10 out of 10 ranking until I've flown through it or over it. What countries outside Europe have you travelled to, Tommy? Well, look, some of them were special ops. I can't really be divulging the information on some of the operations we went on during my time as a NATO bus specialist. But let's just say there were a lot of top secret special black ops operations. There might have been a few CIA black sites visited. I think I've got into that in the past. But just while we're still in FOXFORD, let's have a little look here and see if they've got the church in. If there's a church, an old one there. There's a Masonic lodge beneath that. Another church there, which is, I think that might be a Protestant church. Fair play to them, nothing against them. Great workers, the Protestants. Great work ethic. London Dairy, thank you very much for the tip. And O'Doherty boy, thank you very much. Let's have a look. Another church down here. You would think, you would hope, but it hasn't been rendered into the landscape. It's right there beneath me. It is. It's a building shaped like a cross, as most churches generally are, but it hasn't really been given a steeple or a whatever you call it, a belfry. Thank you very much there, Bally Ulster Boy YouTube or YT. Thank you very much. What can we see there? Can we pause that? I actually don't know. Don't know what the pause button is here. Trying to look for the build. There she is. Look, there's the church shape, but it looks as though it's a house. Looks as though it's a house. When's your next Slugheron shift? I'm not 100% sure myself. But look, I'm Very much looking forward to it. Now, this particular area came under heavy flooding, I remember, back in 2016. I think possibly January or February of 2016. It could have been, actually, no. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yes, it did, yeah. And unfortunately, that whole area there was submerged. It was like Atlantis. And I think it could happen again. And I don't think the correct measures have been taken to mitigate the potential flooding circumstances. I know there was a lot of digging and whatnot. A lot of new sand and earth was laid down there. But you would hope that it's going to, the way things are going, the way the chat is going about climate change, we could see something happening again. It's an awful shame as well, because it's a lovely stretch of river, and you know, you can see that. It's clear as day as we fly over Renani here, just outside FOXFORD. But I tell you, if you're ever down in FOXFORD, you need to take a little walk out just over here, because there's a fantastic walkway with a statue as well of Admiral Brown. Right here, just underneath where I'm flying right now. You can actually go fishing there as well, if you have a license. A Masonic Lodge underneath me there. Who knows what went on there back in the day? Or who knows what went on, or still goes on there. I'm not particularly too sure. Barrel roll for Admiral Brown. Okay, let's get that throttle going. Barrel roll, here we go. Can I still do it? Shit. We're going down! Not great. And there you go, that's what happens, you see, when people ask me to do stunts in the Cessna, and that's been a while now. That's been a while since I've had to do that, you know. And it's a shame. It's a damn shame. Let's see if everyone's alright inside that cockpit. Hopefully Charlene hasn't. Look at the grass. Lovely grass out in FOXFORD. Lovely grass, I tell you. Some of the finest grass I ever seen. But yeah, Charlene's batteria, has she been absolutely Texased? I'm not sure. We can't see. We're submerged in FOXFORD grass. Now, I think we're okay. That's the Cessna. That's the safety. That's the seatbelts did the job. You know, it's. I beg your pardon. The seatbelts. Always wear your seatbelt. You see now, if I can get this plane back into the sky here. I was told here that you hold R1, L1 and left, maybe. Nope. Yes. Here we go, we're back. We're taking a nosedive. And we're back in the sky. It is as easy as that. Let's just see here. Yeah, and we're still over FOXFORD, and we're very high up in the sky. Take us to the Masonic Hall again, asked Graham Reed. I will. Airspeed too low. Let's have a little look here and see what we're dealing with. We're gonna do that barrel roll. We're gonna get it done. Lovely bit of height. Barrel roll session away, boys. Barrel roll session away. Anti-stall. Lovely stuff. Let's get that going again. Let's see one. Not great. It's hard. It's actually hard to do this. Used to be a lot easier. Okay, so we've had a crash, and we just now have to try and perfect and practice our landings. Let's have a little look and see where we can land. I mean, to try and attempt a landing in FOXFORD town itself. Surely not. Surely not. We should have actually had one of those aqua water planes or whatever they're called, where you can land on the river. That would have been very nice. That's something to think about for the River Moy, anyway. Maybe let's try it. No. Let's just let's land the Cessna one step at a time here. We need to really find a place which is suitable for landing here. Jackie, thank you very much for the tip there. Jackie, great to see you, Slug. Hope you have a great day. Thank you very much, Jackie. Very kind, yeah. And hope you have a great day as well. Land outside the town here. Nice stretcher road here. Cavalog is asking us to land on the bridge, which is probably the quintessential bit of landing strip if you were to think about it. I mean, you're right in the town and you're going over the iconic FOXFORD Bridge. It might take some time. Let's see how we're dealing with this. Let's see if we can deal with it. Look at it right there. There's a turn right here. You can either go left up to the train station or right to Ballina. But to land on that bridge, you really want to have your flying pants on. We'll be flying by the seat of our pants. Oh no! Let's have a look here. I think we need to really need to be slowing down just from about here on into town, just to be able to give ourselves the correct amount of flight speed getting into the town. Thank you very much there for the tip. Amphibian plane. That's the name of the plane that can land on water, an amphibian plane. I wanted to actually maybe fly to Castlereagh as well, because I don't know where the NCT centre is there, so it'd be great to have a bird's eye view of the area before I drive down there, you know. Duck-billed platypus. Okay, here we go. I think we're on course here to land in FOXFORD. On FOXFORD Bridge. Flaps down. Flaps down to the maximum, lads. This could go one way, could go another. I can see the bridge. It looks nice. It's looking good. Fuck. Oh, yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. But still, not a bad landing. You know, if you think about it, it looks like It looks very, very nice. The way, I mean, look, we're still alive. She's fine. There's no complaints. There's no complaints from me either. I wonder what the look at the buildings here, the lovely buildings in Foxford. I know we're literally inside someone's gaff here. Thank you very much there, Amphibian Plane and Sam Tordraff, a Goodwood BTCC. Thank you very much. We need you back on the racetrack. Slug in, stiffen the springs, right height on the duck, hydraulic handbrake. Hand me o. I'd love to just have one more crack at the whip there before we visit the Masonic Lodge. I just would love to have a decent landing. And then if the landing was so good, I could actually drive the plane around Foxford town as though it were a car. Over to the Masonic Lodge. We'll get a good look at those, the symbology on the side of the building. Then we can take off, head down to Castlereagh, find out where the NCT centre is, and then I'll be able to... I'll know exactly where I'm going later on then, you know. Put down the engine. Holy smokes. Spin over Castlereagh prison. I forgot there was a prison there. And thank you very much there. She's no Vento. It says grand parking. Thank you very much. I thought that was a great attempt. I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet or anything like that, but I thought that was a very, very respectable attempt. And let me know as well, is the volume okay of the plane? Is it too low or is it too high or what? Stopping Blue Thunder on the way. It's good volume, beautiful volume, great sound, great stuff. Thank you very much, lads, for assisting me in this situation here. The assisted flying bill. That's been passed in government buildings. Lot of contention about it, but at the end of the day, it had to be done because, as you can see, you can't let fellas land planes in Foxford without a bit of live chat assistance. And to make that illegal is against basic human dignity and rights. You know, time was, if you wanted to have to land a plane on a public road, on a bridge in a small town, you had to go to Switzerland to do it. But not now. Not today, anyway. Let's get that down. Flaps. Flaps down. I can see the road. It looks mighty. It's almost like a landing strip in and of itself. This is beautiful, lads. This is going to be a real sweet piece of beef. This is going to be a lovely situation. Moy Plane, thank you very much. I might have gone a bit too early on the flaps. I might have gone early on the flaps. Stallwallet. And that's a lovely landing, but it's not on the bridge, but fuck it, it'll do. It will do indeed. And there's a car. He needs to watch out. I think I have the brake on, have I? I do. Moy Plane, thank you very much for the tip there. Big shout out to Moy Valley, chicken calves. Oh god, yeah, fuck. Apologies there. Sorry about that. Into someone's gaff. Not particularly too sure whether or not that's... Can we reverse? Can we reverse? I enjoyed that landing. It just wasn't good enough for me. I want to go one more and then we'll get to the Masonic Lodge. Please just let me Let me have my fun on the bridge here. I know people are dying to see that Masonic symbology. So am I. But I want to be on that bridge to really show that I've got the power, the torque, the skill, the drive, the determination, and the sheer guile. But it's been a while since I've been in the Cessna, lad, so I'm not really too sure how to do a reverse, or even, indeed, is that even possible in a prop plane? I kind of remember going around towns on the ground, like, so I mean, it's not as though it's an impossibility. Now, throttle down. Is this us? Are we going the right way? There's the O'Hara's bread factory just to my right. You can fly helicopters, Connor, in the game, but I can't fly them. It's very hard to control them. I'm not too sure how you do it, or is there some sort of special control you need to... This is not the right way into town at all. Abort. We'll go for another pass. How are you, Perpetual Peter? What's the story? Saying well from Dundalk. All the best. We're just gonna have another go around here. It's the FOXFORD Bridge, so it really does deserve a landing. It's not something you can just say you had the chance to do it and fuck it, we gave it a pass. We need to do this. It's for the good of mankind. Flaps down. Throttle down. It's a shaky bit of business. It's shaky. It's very shaky. I'm actually scared. This could go tits up. Tits! Nexus, thank you very much there, Nexus, for the tip. And Fergal, thank you very much there for the tip as well. And Schnuffles and Taoiseach Simon Harris, thank you very much. Stressful day in Leinster House. Glad to see the stream, Tommy. Thank you very much for the tip. And all the best with your challenge for the top, so to speak. This is the one. I mean, maybe we should be approaching the bridge from the other side, but it's too late for that now. Let's get another goosey gander of what we're dealing with here. Okay, so there you go. There's the town. Right over there. You can see the bridge. Or can you? I can't see it. It's down there. Okay, the little red building is our marker. We can line up and land about half a click before the little red building. We should be grand. Thank you very much, Nexus, who says, relax, Tommy. It's just like flying a bus. Elbow out and look to the horizon, says Fergal. Thank you very much for the tip. So it's a little red shed building down there that we need to keep our eye on. Hang on. It's not great at all. This is it. This is it. This is the one. This is the one. Flaps down. Flaps down. Throttle fully down. Oh, it's tight. It's tight. I mean, how'd you land and then get through town? How'd you land and get through town? Unbelievable stuff. Way too fast. And now the engine is stopped completely. We're in a pickle here. I didn't want the entirety of the stream to be this. I really didn't. We've only got until what time do I have to be at the thing? 4:30 is the thing. So if I gave myself till 3:30, geez, that's a nice bit. That's a nice chunk of time, actually. That's a nice chunk of time. But I don't want to be doing this for 2 hours, you know. I mean, look, we actually need to we have to go to Castlereagh. We haven't time to be hanging around here. Thank you very much, Fave Doley, for the tip. Hope all is well. Keep up the flying. And Father Woodlouse, thank you very much. The Father Woodlouse says, bit of petrol money. Well, look, you know, the price of jet fuel and aeroplane fuel these days, it's gone through the roof. Thanks very much. It's ridiculous. It's gone through the sky. This is looking nice. We're going at a lovely speed here. Flaps not down at all. Margaret Davis, thank you very much there. Big shout out to young Kaz Holland. I'll read you the rest of that in a minute there, but a shout out to Kaz Holland. And thank you very much to Rob. Let's get this going. Let's get this going. Let's get this going. The fucking wingspan of my plane might take out a couple of these houses here. Come on! Oh, for fuck's sake. Big accident in FOXFORD. Big accident in FOXFORD. A big accident has occurred. But don't worry. I mean, how did I get on the first one? It was brilliant. The first landing. It was just a shame about the narrow road thereafter. But look, there'll be no trips to the hospital because we are not a scratch on us, just as it was when we went down in the field there. The seatbelt did the trick, and it just goes to show our heads are actually immersed in the Tarmacadam there. But don't worry about that. Everything else seems very, very fine indeed. FOXFORD's looking well. Thank you very much there, Margaret Davis. Big shout out to Kaz Holland, who's doing the Lord's work there in Trim, County Meath, I believe. Rumour is that she's a member of the Illuminati. Thank you very much for the tip. And also, Rob, take her handy, Tommy. Look, we'll give it one more go here. We just need to land on this bridge once more and actually get it right this time. I mean, look, from this high up, this altitude, it looks straightforward. It looks like a straightforward piece of beef. Maybe land a little bit sooner. But there's a narrow couple of buildings, you see. It could be hard to really navigate that. Maybe land from the other side of town. Land into the wind. Somebody is saying here, do I have a windometer on my plane to show me that? I can't see any. There's no indication of wind on my my flight thing here. And you can't just stick a finger out the window when you're in midair, like, you know. But look at this. Have you ever seen such... It looks so easy from here. It almost looks like a runway in the distance here. I'm gonna go cockpit on this. There's no indication that what we are dealing with here is possible. Look. We're gonna go early. We're gonna go early. I think we're gonna do it, lads. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do this. Oh, it's lovely. Oh, it's not lovely, it's terrible. We took somebody's house out there. Just one more, and that's the last one. If we can't get it, we're done. I just need some practice. It's the first time in 3 years back, or maybe a year. There was one false bit of flying there last year, but something to do with the frame rate and the internet wasn't working out for us. Now it's well and truly working out. But for the attempted landings and destructive crashings. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna really make it happen. That's the mantra. Thanks for reminding me of the mantra there. I believe that mantra was used quite a few times back in the day in order to facilitate a smooth landing. Here we go. It's like the flying doctors. Huh? Oh yeah. It's smooth. It's smooth. Fuck it. That'll do. It'll have to do. It'll have to do. There's no way, look, there's not a chance that you would have got that through the town. Saying to Johnny there, there's not a chance you get that, the way that wingspan is situated, the way, the width and breadth of that wingspan. There's not a cat in hell's chance of getting that through the town itself. Do you hear me? Not a cat in hell. If you went to hell and brought back all the cats, there wouldn't be any. You'd be lying to me because there's no cats out there. Lovely cat in hell. Lovely piece of beef. Landing on the street. Landing on the streets. Boxing for my tea. Lovely piece of meat. And a nice cup of tea. We can get rid of the jungle and the drum and bass there. Now. Like a cat out of hell, I'm flying through the town of FOXFORD. Let's have a little look here now and see if we can get down to the Masonic Lodge. Maps. FOXFORD. Have to put this on the screen now so we can see what we're dealing with. That's the town. Maybe we can get a bit of street view going there. I'm not 100%. But yeah, we can. Nice. So this is where we are situated right now. And look, you can see how narrow that is. Not a chance of me getting down that in the Cessna. Not a chance. That's what we're dealing with. Somebody's saying you get a 152 down it. And here's the bridge as well. Look at how narrow that is. I was doing well to even touch wheel on it. The Main Street in Swinford is a bit wider. You could try there, says Conrad. But look, I mean, I don't know if we have time. I need to get to Castlereagh and I need to try and work out a way of... look at the library here, the old tiling. You don't get shop fronts like this anymore. And where's it gone? It's all gone plastic nowadays. It's all gone, what, High Street? Big old graphic design, big neon lights and all that. You don't get mosaic tiling like this. I think I'm beginning to feel as though I've been down FOXFORD before on a Sluglingus tour. But I can't remember if I had. Because it seems like the kind of town you'd want to have a little look at. It's got a lot going on, and you've also got this situation. So it's a combination of, I suppose, Christianic, because there's a bit of a cross on top of it. It's Christianic with the Mother Mary, but then it gets Illuminatic just here with this eye symbology here, the Eye of Horus. Maybe there's nothing, maybe it's not Masonic. I thought that there was I thought there was one of those, whatchamacallits, those compass things where... Triangle compass. You'd find that on the dollar note anyway, so I mean, I'm not too sure whether or not there's something going on. And then, a lovely old church building here. Absolutely beautiful. As I was mentioning there, this is the Admiral Brown Centre. And further down is the statue of the man himself, who led the Argentinian Navy to some victories. I think they might have bollocked the Brits back in the day. I'm not too sure whether or not that might have been the time when they got the Falklands Islands. I'm not sure, but there's a few more islands I think they were after or something, and Admiral Brown did the business. Somebody might know, somebody might understand what the situation was with Brown. Was he a FOXFORD man, was he? William Admiral Brown was an Irish-born man who established the Argentinian Navy and fought for Argentinian independence. There he is, sorry. And look at that. Yet again, another slice of magisterial beauty along the banks of the River Moy. You've got those hills in the background there. Lovely green pastures. And the man himself stood atop a lovely, massive rock. God knows where that rock came from. I don't know what I'm more impressed with here, the bronze statue itself or the rock. Donated to the town by none other than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. who was a big, big fan of Foxford and Argentina. Some would say, or some have said, that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson pushed this all the way to Foxford. From miles away in a kind of Sisyphusian toil and toll for the ages. And he did it, but he gave up. But thank God he gave up there and then, because we have a beautiful situation right now because of it. And then another piece of situationship here, a lovely massive anchor. That is huge. It's beautiful stuff. And you don't get anchors like that anymore. You don't see them. You don't see them as big as that. LG in the chat says, I've seen bigger. You can't beat a lovely hard bit of iron. Is it safe to leave it out like that in the street? Asked somebody. Well, it's been there for a few years now, and as far as I can tell, there has not been any anchor-related injuries or disasters or anything like that. I wonder if you click on that picture of Admiral Brown, do we get to see any photographs of him, which would be nice. Promenade. That's a lovely one. That's beautiful. On a beautiful day like that, it feels like you're not even in the county at all. You could be on the Riviera or in some other faraway European country. And I've got a close-up shot of the anchor here, probably when it was being installed back in the day. Somebody said I've doxed the Admiral there, but I think he's well and truly doxed anyway, so it's grand. Let me just see what we've got here. Another shot of the river. Isn't it marvelous? Absolutely marvelous. Having another little scan through here before we leave. Another, this time a faraway shot of the man himself. Lovely little table there. Paddy Naughton Memorial. Sit a while and remember your loved ones, whether they cash the line or not. Say a prayer. Let them know you're there and not where time forgot. Erected by the Foxford Salmon Anglers. What a lovely little piece of tributary there. And that's some sort of bronze kind of piece of artwork that depicts Admiral Brown and maybe on a ship looking out at sea. What a legend. It's a lovely, lovely statue. What a legend. I beg your pardon, sorry, there's just another one here. I'm interested in seeing this. Somebody's put a flag in his sword sheath, whatever you call that. We get a good look of his face in this one, look. Was not anticipating this. This is brilliant. Wow. Look at the regalia. Look at the shoulder pads are made out of acorns. He had giant acornic shoulder pads. This is back before even the 1980s when shoulder pads were in vogue. Thank you very much there, Cabine, for the tip. In one hand, his Admiral's telescope or kaleidoscope, whatever it was. Maybe he was a good man. A lot of the time, trying to defeat the Brits out at sea. You'd be wrecked. So at the end of the day, he would sit down with a big, massive jar of rum and a kaleidoscope, and that was the way he would get out of his head in order to relax. Thank you very much there, Paddy Nachman, and who says, tell the Foxford salmon anglers that they're amazing. Thank you very much there. And somebody's put a couple of balloons there which have popped, a couple of white and light blue, the traditional Argentinian colours. And look at that, he's wearing those waterproof spats, or whatever you call them, that wrap over your boots to keep them nice and dry, which you'd need to have definitely when you're out on deck. And you wonder whether he ever got to use that sword, or was it simply for show? Was it simply a warning sword? You know? Did he ever take a life? You know, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, if he took it in war to save the people, then that's okay. But I mean, did he ever do any extra? No, we can't speculate. All we can say is that he was a great man. And we've got a different shot, a rear shot of the Admiral. Beautiful stuff. Somebody there getting a shot with the jersey. Fair play to him. Another beautiful picture of the anchor. And it's been taken very, very nicely. It's got a lovely kind of HDR twist to it. I think we're done. Look at this parking sign. That's your disabled spot right there. You can't say fairer than that. Right close. And there's another one. Another miniature car park just over here, if anybody is interested. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slots. A miniature 8-slot car park. 3 of those boys. And then, if that's full, don't worry your head. Thank you very much there, Mark Viduka. Very, very kind of you. Don't worry about it. There's another car park over here, which is monumental. You're looking at a minimum 25 to 30 slot. And I know for a fact that if you on a good day you can actually get more in at the side in unallocated spaces. Don't tell them I told you. You get caught, it's your own fault. It's your own fault. I mean, I suppose you could actually fit a few more in there as well. I wouldn't try it though. I wouldn't try it. You don't want to get caught out. I think that's for trucks and haulage and whatnot. You do get a lot of trucks coming down here delivering stuff to the woolen mills. Raw materials. And the woolen mills is a great place for a sandwich. A spattle lunch as well if you're in the area. I mean, I'm not doing any advertising for them myself. That's just my own personal opinion. I never see anybody using this church. I don't think it's in operation these days. It's the other one up the town here, which we've seen. There's Geary's which is a great pint. One of the finest pints in the world can be got in Garris, and that's where the tail of the World War II plane driver actually had to eject flying over Broad Hill. Could have been a tall tale, I'm not sure. Now, let's get back on the road. Or in the sky. But we will actually have to utilise the road in order to launch ourselves into the sky. This is where we are. This is where we're parked. The likeness is unbelievable. Thank you very much there. Show us your gaff. I mean, I don't think it's built into the game, to be honest. But what am I saying? It's not a game. I really am flying a plane around the town. Any suggestion otherwise is just merely lies upon lies upon lies. What needs to happen now is to fly south on towards Swinford, then take the Dublin Road, follow the Dublin Road to Charlestown, then, or maybe actually take the N5 bypass outside Swinford, head about 20 clicks to Balladreen, or maybe keep going to Tulsk, actually. Bypass Balladreen, hit to French Park, on to Tulsk, then swing a right. I'm trying to guess what I'm gonna try and get to Castlereagh without any maps or any of that sort of stuff. Is West of Island sunny today, Kitty? I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I looked earlier on, it wasn't, but yesterday it was now. I can't see outside the window right yet, but right now, in this situation that we're in, it's very sunny indeed. It's beautiful. Can we take off here? I mean, how would you... Does anybody know how you reverse in the Cessna? It's been a while. Reverse thrust. Is reverse thrust... I can't even remember what the cockpit instrumentation is and how you do it. Is there a reverse switch here? There's your throttle. God, it's been so long. I'm not even. I used to have this down. Remember, at the beginning of every Sluglingus, it would be a cinch. I'd know the procedure. I'd know exactly what I was doing. But now I've absolutely no idea whatsoever. And that's going to take some getting used to. You've got mixtures, you've got throttles, you've carbs. It's a crazy bit of business altogether. Grab the choke. I think it's time to just get into the air utilising the cheat mechanism. The old R1L1 and up. If that'll do it. There we go. Lovely bit of cheating. Don't worry, I'm going to learn the ropes again. You'll see some absolute... Thank you very much there, Brent Eagle. I'm not going to be cheating the whole time. The next time I'm in the plane, I'll have the controls worked out because I'll be doing a bit of practicing in the meantime. Because I want to show you that I'm well capable of it and not just some Lutheraman who relies on buttons and quick fixes. You've already seen how well I managed to land the plane a few times. But before the crashes happened, things were going fantastic until those crashes happened, you know? People forget that. People are very quick to forget the good times. They want to linger on the bad times. So let's head down southwards from FOXFORD town now towards Swinford. And I might actually take a twisting turn. Or we might fly over, before we even get to Callow, I might take a left and go around this hill over here, which is a beautiful hill. And we can link up again with the River Moy somewhere down past there and follow that. Thanks, Simon, there for that big block of text there. I can't read it at the moment. Turn the key, press clutch, put in the first gear, foot over accelerate, lift clutch, disengage. Think you're talking about driving a car or some sort of road-based machine. Thank you very much, Brent Eagle, who says, batten down your plug, in reference to the Boeing 737 MAX job. Thank you very much there. Callow Lake over there, which is a lovely, lovely lake if you're ever in the area. One of my favourite lakes. I highly recommend that. And there's a fella down there, I think he rents out boats. Just down there. Maybe that little house in. If you can see that there. That little house just down there. I could be wrong. Times have changed. Times have changed, but we're gonna just take a bit of a scenic route around here. Reconvene with the Moy, which won't bring us through Swinford, but we might be able to link off on a tributary, which will head us down there, and then we can take the N5, as I was saying, out towards French Park or Tulch, then we'll swing a right. And head down towards Castlereagh. Christoph, thank you very much there. Christoph Lammy Pie. Great to see you back in the sky, Tom. Start to worry you might have had the kite license revoked on account of some incident. Well, you know for a fact, any of the disasters that I've been involved in have all been through the courts. No fault was found with me. I was breathalyzed after each and every one. They couldn't find a hint or a drop of drink on me. License untouched. A few points, a rap on the wrist, a Hail Mary, and I'm back in the sky. It's grand. Now look at this. This is where the Moy gets a little bit tree-lined. You can see a lot of greenery there. The system is not rotten, John. The system is not rotten. The system's great. The system's fantastic. I couldn't have asked for a better system. Couldn't have asked for a better judge that day. No. A little look here. We might actually get a little bit of altitude here. Have you been to the NCT Centre yet? Not yet. I'm actually going to try and find that out now in a moment. Well, say a moment, however long it does take us to get to Castlereagh. Bunny Conlon out that way, so we need to really just maybe move over here. How are you getting on there? My money, my problems. Thank you very much. Which I think was a rap tune back in the day by the since He was called Puff Daddy. He was called Puffy. Then he was called Puff Daddy. Then he was called P Diddy. Then he was called P Dids. And now he's well regarded as a boo-boo man. And I say well regarded, I mean that pejoratively. It's like a lot of people are regarding him as a boo-boo man. But also he was accompanied on that track, I believe, by an MC called Mace. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was a priest. He wouldn't have been Catholic, I don't think. He might have been one of the different kind of Protestant sects that they have out there in the US. He's a rabbi in Israel now, no joke, says Stillmatic. I'm willing to actually believe Stillmatic because of the Wu-Tang Clan profile picture and that your name's Stillmatic. Maybe you have some sort of information on the hip-hop world. But if that is the case, how are you, Mace? That's the value of shopping at Mace. Not a lot of strings to his bow, that lad. He could rap, he could rhyme, he could reason. And he's switching codes as well, like they do in the rugby when his lad's going from rugby union to rugby league. He's gone from one Abrahamic faith to another. He'll be with the Islamics next. He could do a cover of Naz's Stillmatic there and it'd be like, yeah, it's Islamic. Yeah, it's Islamic. I can't actually remember what that was, but it's an Abrahamic Davidian Night scenario, says Quib. Which is, it's beautiful to hear about that. And I'd say it's almost beautiful to see as well. So a big shout out to Mace if you're watching from Israel. Not too fond of what's going on out there, to be honest with you, Mace. I'm sure a man of your stature, who's highly regarded, will agree with me. I mean, I don't know how any man worth his salt in the religious stakes can be proud of what's going on out there today. It's a terrible bit of business. No matter what way you want to cut that onion, you're gonna cry. Whether you're into Christ, or you're into whatever the God is, or the God is that the Jewish people like, or whether you're into Muhammad, whatever way you want to split that apple, it's a bad bit of business out there. And they do well to bloody cop on and sort things out, because it's not great. Now, I'm at a little bit of a loss here. I'm trying to find out where I've gone. A Claire is there, okay. If that's a Claire, I need to turn this kite around big time. I'm gonna go for a dip here. Lovely stuff. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Look at that. Marvellous, Mayo. Untouched by the cynical hand of industry, capitalistic gain in industry. Some would say to its detriment, because there's not a lot of jobs, especially when you're, you know, for the youth, they're coming out of school, they don't have much to do. You have to leave. But it's the best air quality in Europe can be found somewhere just on the outskirts of Claremorris. Would you believe that? I've done the check. I've ran the numbers. I've crunched the numbers, and that's what we're dealing with. I know a lot of other counties try to lay claim to being the best and everything, but you can't. The science is actually telling us that the air quality is so good here that, I mean, that has to count for something, doesn't it? Tullycushion. I'd actually have to hit the map here. Bear with me here. Tullycushion. Let's just hit the map for a moment. Tullycushion. Tullycushion. Thank you very much there, Captain Sack. Jeez, I'm out near Tubbercurry. How did we end up there? I was talking shite, lads. I was talking shite. See, I was meant to head that way. Oh no, I was meant to head just down there, but I've gone all the way out here. I'm probably out here. Yeah, I'm right there, because we were near, Eclair wasn't too far away. If Tubber is there, Eclair is here, yeah. So I'm probably about here. I would imagine. I need to head south west if I want to, or I could just continue going southeast to Charlestown, hit the N5 there. Might even stop at Charlestown Plaza for a Super Mac. I mean, other burger joints are available. Let's see. Let's see here. We need to turn this thing around. Lord of Existence is saying I'd love to see Gortine. Look, I'm not too sure we've got time for it at the moment. Maybe another day. We need to get to Castlereagh big time. We're heading south. Hopefully we're going to hit the N5 at some point, and it should be an intersection. Yeah, we're heading the right direction. There's Curry down there. South Curry. Apologies there if somebody's asking me to go to FOXFORD. I mean, we only got time to do a little bit. I was arsing around. I tried to land on the bridge about 10 times. Was not a great situation at all, but for the first day back in the flight, back in the cockpit, so to speak, I actually didn't mind. My attempt was good, I thought. Apart from the crashes and the obvious deaths that would have occurred. But you have to hand it to seatbelts. You have to hand it to the seatbelt. Charlestown. Might have time just to have a quick look at the plaza there. It's a great situation. I mean, whatever about your Barack Obama Plaza, you have to check out the one at Charlestown. It's slick. There's washing machines, car wash, air pumps, Supermax drive-through, ice cream machine. Get your coal, you can get your peat, gas. Probably, I'd say, 17 to 25 slots of car parkery. Accusations of car parkery. Truly is one of the best. No bollards, Quip. Unfortunately, there might be a few plastic bollards, but I don't really count them as real bollards. That's a controversial opinion. I got into a bit of a fucking argument with someone over that there the last day as well. I had to leave the bar. Fella said he was going to shoot me for what I had said. But that was a fella now who he was heavily involved in that that plastic bollard, that was his life, you know. I was minding my own business, having a pint down in, I'm not going to name the pub, but it was in Charlestown anyway. And somebody overheard me. I was only chatting to the barman. I was keeping myself to myself. I went in for 2 quiet scoops. I said, look, whatever about the Plaza itself, the lack of pure, solid, concrete bollard is a disappointment, but I won't hold it against it. He said, sure, there's plastic ones there, Tom. I said, that's not real. And then all of a sudden, this lad just comes in out of nowhere. He says, get out the back, you go on, fuck off out the back there. And I was a bit confused and puzzled because there's no entrance out the back, there's just jacks. So I wasn't sure whether or not he was asking me to go to the jacks. I was a bit kind of, what's this lad out about? He'd had a few. And I said, what's wrong? He goes, get out the back there, I'll fucking shoot you. I said, where, do you have a gun? Is it in a holster or something? You know, I wasn't trying to be smart or anything, because I'd had a couple of drinks as well. I didn't want to get into a situation. I said, is it in a holster? He says, no. It's at home in a safe. I was just dumbfounded at that point. I just looked. I said, all right, sound grand. I didn't want... There's a bit of me that thought, maybe say to him, go on and home and fucking get it so. But there was no point. I could see in his eyes he didn't like what I'd said about the bollards. And so I sat there. I'd already ordered another drink, and that was settling. But, you know, I could have left then, but the pint was settling, so I had to stay. And then it was another 10 minutes of drinking that pint. And funnily enough, he had a couple of friends with him who seemed like normal enough people. Do you know, there was a man and a lady there. And, but they weren't doing, I noticed they weren't doing as much talking as your man was. And your man was awful mad. I don't think, it wasn't just the bollards that he was mad about. He was leveling accusations of, let's just say outsiders and stuff like that. He was very raged. Very raged indeed. And I'm not sure whether or not he was saying I was an outsider, but I overheard him going, you need to know who your neighbours are. It's not right, and we're not gonna sell that fucking bit of land in that house because you don't know who the fuck's gonna move into it, he said. And I could hear this, and I was thinking, this guy, he's after saying he's gonna fucking shoot me with a gun. Thanks very much, NATO bus squadron. And I think I could hear him go as well to your man, to his friend. See that innocent fool there, that innocent fool. And I think your man might have been going, ah, no, he's grand, he's grand. Some other shite then, he was like, innocent fool, but he was saying, plastic bollards are bollards, plastic bollards are bollards. Plastic bollards, and he kept on saying it. He had the look of evil in his eyes. So then I'd slank the pint. 10 minutes of I couldn't really enjoy it. I put it down. I said, good luck to the barman. And just as I was leaving, didn't his friend, who was quiet enough, beside me, he goes, can I have that beer mat there for it? I said, okay, sound. He goes, how are you, Tommy? Tommy Schlug, what's the story? And I was thinking then, is this a trap? Is he going to lure me in with a friendly how ya? And then level accusations of bullet at me as well. Unbelievable stuff. Can you believe this? In Charlestown, on St. Patrick's Day, in a lovely pub. I'm not going to name it because I don't want to. The establishment is great. And so his friend then was saying, how you, Tommy, what's the story? But I was thinking, beg your pardon, this lad might actually want to shoot me like the other fella. So I said to him, what did I say? I said, how you getting on? No, I'm not. I said, I'm not Thomas. No, you've the wrong guy. He said, I know it's you, you fucker, he said. I thought at this time he has me. He has me. And who knows where this is gonna go. So I had to think quickly. And I was like, I kept up the pretense. I said, that's my brother. My name is Paul. And I patted him on the back and said, I'll talk to you later. I have to go. I'll see you later. Didn't look to see the friend, but the friend was being quiet. The lad who said he was going to shoot me was being very quiet. Quiet as a mouse. As I was walking away then, out the bar, he goes, love the videos, Tommy. Love the videos. I said, oh yeah. And I was so confused, I said, how yeah, and left. And then it was only on the way out that I thought to myself, see, that fellow he could have actually been sound. Not the fellow who said he was going to shoot me, but the fellow that was saying, Howie, I love the videos. So it was a tricky situation. But it just goes to show you don't know who's listening to your conversations. And if you're giving out about bollards, whether they're plastic or they're concrete, be sure to qualify the statement with some sort of, but that's just my opinion, and look at a lot of other people think plastic bollards are fine. And one other consideration was when I was leaving the bar there that fella might have actually just wanted a little conversation, and now he'll be spreading the word around. If the second lad was sound, the one that didn't threaten to kill me was sound, he might actually be going around town now saying, I met that shrug in town. He's a bollocks. Didn't have 2 minutes to speak to me. He's a cunt. And you know the way that a bad word will spread around the town faster than a good word will spread around the town. Do you know? Now, where am I? I'm out Balahi. We need to get... There's the roundabouts. There's the N5. Let's get down to the Plaza down in Charlestown for a look. To be fair, you were threatened. It's fair enough. You didn't react normally, Tommy. But that's the thing, Henry Flame. This is the problem. I should have told the second buck that sure, your friend has just said he's going to shoot me. And but at that stage, I didn't think. I just wanted to leave. Do you know the way when it gets to 10 p.m. on a Patrick's night, it starts to get messy then, and people started coming in. They were young guns. They were the new generation. They were hepped up on and it wasn't Guinness they were drinking. It was foul-smelling sort of mixtures. And from what I can remember, the bookie who threatened accusations of shooter at me, he was wearing a blue Tommy Hilfiger top. And if I was to guess now, judging by the look of his eyes, and I don't want to make too many assumptions here, but it wasn't just the drink that was going on. That's all I'm saying. I'll leave it at that. Now, we need to find a great spot to land down by the Plaza, because I want to show you this Supermax. It's fantastic. There's Charlestown, there's Market Square. So this is a landing strip for us right here now. Look, the eyes seem to be swimming, and they seem to... It almost seemed as though there was... The accusations of shootery were unqualified, and it's the type of stuff you might come out with, I would imagine. He was an angry young man, and it wasn't just the plastic bollards that he didn't like. Let's go. The eyes don't lie. You need to look at the eyes. Sometimes people do say to me, you can hardly see your eyes, Tommy. Say it's one of the best things about having a pair of peepers like mine is that sometimes you might not be able to level me up. Are we on the right road here? Look, it's a great landing. It's a fantastic landing. That's us. That's beautiful stuff. That was nice. I mean, the garage is down there. Thank you very much, DJ Chalky Peanuts there. How are you, Tommy? Any sign of the Gallagher lads kicking about on your recent Charlestown escapades? They could have jumped in to defend your honour. I don't think they'd be visiting that often, although I heard Liam Gallagher was in Charlestown last year at some point, but I only heard about it after it had happened. I think the brother still might be living in the locality. I'm not too sure, but a big shout out to him if he's tuned in. And there we have Charlene. I wonder, can I turn the kite around and just drive her down to the drive-through? We can. Someone's gaff there. Lovely stuff. It's a tight turn. I think that's us here. I think that's the garage right here, the plaza. It's been rendered a bit differently from reality, and there is no drive-through built into this system that I'm operating at the moment. We should be able to have a little look though on the on our mainframe if we can get that up. That'd be nice. Supermax and Papa John's. I beg your pardon. Sorry if Papa John is watching. I omitted your name from all the stuff going on, but you're as much a part of the Supermax family now that I don't really think about you as your own business, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? Supermax and Papa John's are a match made in heaven. There's also the super subs in there as well. You can buy some sort of it's a sandwich. Build your own sandwich setup. Super Mac Enjoyer, thank you very much for the tip there. Tommy, are you familiar with the Super Macs in Ballinallack along the F? Am I familiar with that? Wow. All I can say about that one is, wow. What a... it was a transformation. It used to be fantastic, and nowadays it's like stepping into the future. Future Max, I call it. It's like being in a cyber world. It's fantastic. And just that entire Ballinallack garage, I was there 4 years ago in Sluglingus. You might have seen it. I landed there. But even since then, in reality, thanks very much, Anaconda Gize. Very, very kind of you. I was there landing the kite, but I was there, where was I? Where was that? About a year, maybe about 6 months ago. I had to go up to Dublin and whatever the weather anyway. That truly is one of the finest exponents of service station that the country has to offer. Look, people might disagree, but if you look at the setup and the situation there, the space, the parking allocation, the selection, the hot food, the deli counter, second to none. You can get your bits and pieces if you want as well. There's a mini-mart convenience store. And the Supermax is expanded. You have the Papa John's, the milkshakes, you have futuristic ordering screens, gigantic screens there, like having a giant iPhone in front of you. You can swipe and point and click. You can add sauce, garlic, dip, chip, whatever you want. They'll cater you. They'll cater for you. And it's expanded. It's an expansive Supermax. And look, I'm telling you about this one down in Charlestown. It's the bee's knees. But the one in Ballinallack, it's just on another level entirely. It's beautiful. Truly, truly a thing of beauty. Let me just give you a quick look at the layout of this complex here. So this is where we're landed, or we have landed, should I say, in the Cessna. And you've got the little housing, and there's the thing there. So if we can compare and contrast that to that housing, and then they've done that's your Supermax or your garage service station there behind us. I'd love to reverse, but I can't, and I'll work that out for the next stream. But that's what we're dealing with in reality. Thank you very much, Kiki Stockhammer, for the tip there. I hope you're getting on well. Go on time, you said. Treat us to a flight over Keem Bay next time. Look, I'd be very keen to go hovering over Keem, but I have not got the time at the moment. We're up against it at the moment, and we need to get to Castlereagh. There's the entrance. And look at it. How clean is that? On a lovely summer's day, you can't beat it. I do stop by there. If I'm going having a look at the few planes up in Knock Airport, I'd make sure to take a moment to head on into here, and you can see what they've got. It's up there with Barack Obama Plaza. I mean, a big opportunity was missed by Joe Biden. Old Juicy Joe himself could have come down, because he landed not too far up at the airport there, but that would have probably not sat well with the Ballina contingency had Joe shown a bit of love and compassion towards the Charlestown Plaza, which, look, obviously there's no connection there, but I'm sure if you went down the genealogy path, you could have found something or other, you know. There were Bewleys on the go. You have the Spar, you have the Super Subs, you have the Papa John's, you have the Super Mac. Toilets, Wi-Fi, dining area, bus parking, Netwatch, rural local Netwatch. So there's no funny business going on. Anybody that's new in town, don't worry, we've seen you. You've been highlighted. The town is aware. The town is aware. You've got the washing machines. Big, massive 8K revolutionary drum. Netwatch is after you. Don't think you're going to get away with anything around these here towns. Check out that absolute beast of a pickup. Beautiful Mitsubishi. I wonder what, is it electric? You can't get you wouldn't be able to get a beast that big that's electric, could you? Can't see the exhaust there, but the resolution isn't giving it to me. Could be a hybrid. All in all, a fantastic place. I highly recommend it. Check out that tasty grilled chicken sandwich. Only 350 calories. Robbie, thank you very much for the tip there. And Poindexter. I wonder, do we have any food eating sound effects there, like a scrumptious bite? Bear with me here. Let me see if I have. Just gonna Google scrumptious bite. Food. Food. A chomp, maybe, yeah. Sound. How can you search the sounds here? Steps, door slam, door open, and cash register. Slow clap, burp, flush, fart. That's doorbell danger. Look, we don't have a chomp sound effect, but we might have something similar. Let's see. We need to actually get a little bit bigger on the screen for this to really work out here. Thanks for the tip there, Paddy Bob. Eric's my last name. What happened with New Vegas? This is the New Vegas. You're looking at it right here. Just this for 10 hours. Okay, we must get back here. We need to get to Castlereagh. We're arsing around the town here, and it's taken too long. Thank you very much there, Pacework, for the tip, and Kitty Boo, and Party Bob, and Poindexter and Robbie, and Kiki Stackhammer. I think the chicken in Supermax has taken a dips in quality, says Party Bob. I'm not too sure about that. That's not my sentiments. However, you say the beef is top notch. Kitty Boo says, have you ever taken Muttman in the Cessna? He's not able for the high altitude, high pressure environment. His ears would pop. And once you pop, you can't stop. You know the crack yourself. He'd be too... He starts shaking, you know. He actually starts shaking when you bring him in a car. So, you put him in a plane, he's not able for it. There's your Charlestown service station sign. It's so beautiful. I know I was actually lamenting the passage of time, which has taken away the beautiful shop fronts, traditional mosaic tiles and all that, but gotta hand it to these guys at the Plaza. They've really, really made a great stab at attracting potential customers with that. That really gets my vote. And look at that chicken sandwich. Holy smokes. You don't get many of those to the pound, so you don't. That's the washers I was talking about there. I seen a video the other day of a fella. He was having a go at some fella, and I think he was a Dublin fella. And he goes, there, you washer. He called someone a washer. Is that I've never heard that as an insult before. Is that a big thing in Dublin? And what are they washing with that? I've never heard of that. Paul Boschnick, thank you very much for the tip there. It's a classic. I've never heard it. I've heard someone call someone a bottle washer before. Never heard of it in my life. That was... Look, you do learn something new every day. There's never a day goes by you don't come across something there. Look at that, lads. Barretts. Fair play to the Barrett boys. That's a tidy looking bus. That's like tour band. That's a tour bus, is it? Beautiful. You can't beat the bit of sausage in the roll. It was sleek. Thank you very much, Higgy Schmalls, for the tip there. How are you, Tommy? Would you say flight is your favourite form of transport, or do you prefer the bus? Look, I know I cut my teeth with the bus, but just ever since I've got behind the yoke of a Cessna, it's just so hard to go back to busing. But I will eventually, and I know I keep saying that. I'm sorry for being Tommy Promises. But the level of exploratory freedom that you get in the plane is just second to none. We're landing down in plazas. We're checking out chicken bowls. We're looking at eggs. We're looking at chicken sandwiches. We're seeing the town. We're landing on towns, in towns, around towns. I'm in your town. Higgy Schmalls. I'm in your town. What are you going to do about it? Sorry there, I got a bit aggressive, but it brings it out. It brings out a bit of a mean streak in me as well. Sometimes. Because I'm so angry. I get angry when I see the eggs like that. Another, and oh, look, that it's just. Would you believe it? Could you believe it? Did you ever dare to dream it? A fantastic slice of curry cheese chip action. You go around the. Thanks very much, Hi-Fi Low Life, for the tip there. Will you be taking us on an IRL transport trip this summer? Do you know what I like? I'd enjoy that myself. The nephew was on to me the other day. He was saying, "Don't be doing any more of that going around streaming business." I said, "Why?" He said, "Sure, they're only wankers that do be doing that." I said, I'm not trying to be a nuisance or anything. He said something like, "Oh, I just have a visceral hatred for all these people going out with their phones and cameras in public." I said, "But sure, look, you're on fucking CCTV, you're on dash cams, you're on door cams. I've just got Tommy cam for myself. I'm not going around blashing it in people's faces or anything." He said, "Tom, it's not that. It's just that you're putting yourself in a group of people as part of an obnoxious culture that is going around and there's no respect for civil society anymore." I said, "Jeez, you might have a point there, but I just love the transport too much to give it up. You know? I love the transport too much to give that up. And if somebody has a problem with that, that's their business." He said, I love you, Tom, but you're becoming a wanker." Look at that dip. That is beautiful. I mean, gotta hand it to them. They've gone into that garlic dip with a bloody spoon. That's dedication. They're not tipping when they're dipping. They're spooning that stuff over whatever they want. And a beautiful, beautiful Jack's as well. It's an Armitage Shanks scenario. Love it. Fantastic stuff. Pure China porcelain. Imported from the hinterlands. A lovely massive basin there. And you've got a lovely dry selection. You've got a double dryer, one at either end as well, which really would tackle two lads at a time. I'd love to see, do you know the only thing, I'd give this bathroom 9.5 out of 10. The only thing that's missing is what? And not the stalls, because the stalls are behind. You can't see them here. Just to the right of the stalls. What's missing there, lads? Why is there 0.5 that I'm not giving this? Not a B-day, Kieran. We don't do that over here. We don't do that here. This isn't the Mediterranean. Not a Dyson, Scumbelina. Not a second-hand dryer, Super Ted. I'm just after telling you there was a second one. Robbie has it. Robbie has it with the hand towels. You can't beat a manual pull-down hand towel scenario box. You cannot beat that. And that wall is just crying out for one right there, look. Crying out for one. And it would alleviate congestion as well on a busy day. You're talking what? Saturday afternoons? Maybe on a Sunday, maybe there's a match on up at the park, Charlestown. You want to be able to have a third option of dryage. And that wall there is absolutely screaming out for a hand towel box. I'm not talking paper. I'm talking pure fabric that needs to be wound up pulled down. Pulled down again. Rough. There's a bin there, somebody says, but that's a bin box. That's not a bloody towel box. Thanks very much, Turtle, for the tip there. And look at this lovely situation on the floor here. Very handy to keep the place clean. A lovely drain on the floor. And that's a beautiful shot. That really encapsulates the rainy winter nights, but the warmth of a hot cup of tea or coffee. Another sensual piece of pudding. We didn't think it was going to happen, but it has. They had one job, and that was to just get the focus in on the gummy pizza. And unfortunately, the focus has taken precedence in the background there, so we can see double-deckers. We can see what? Multi-packs a boost, but the gummy jolly pizza is what's going, is out of focus. Thanks very much there, Constipation Worries. I hope you're getting on well. Would you be a urinal or a toilet man yourself? Bit of both. I'm a mix and match. Mix and match. And look at this, the full drum on that left-hand side there. Hopefully they're going to be adequately washed and clean, because you never want to pack out your drum to the maximum. But that is that's a well-packed drum. It's a dryer, somebody's saying. Niall Flynn says it's a dryer. So there you go. It's a well-packed drying drum. I think you can go a little bit harder on packing out the drying drum than you can with the washing drum. I mean, look, you can pack out the washing drum as well, but you might not get a great result. But you know yourself, needs must. They are in dire need of some sauce. They need something. They need something. They need someone to come in clutch with a tub of garlic or a bit of curry. They're with that. Someone really getting ready to go in with the hand. They managed it. They've got a picture of the hand as well. It looks like a hand model. Got fancy hands. You've got a real sensual sauced chip scenario. We don't know if that's a chicken sandwich, but it could be. And look at the finely round-tipped manicured nails. Unbelievable stuff. You bet your ass that fella's married. He's not going to be on the shelf for too long with hands like, with nails like that, doing his hand modeling and his photographing. Now, let's have a look there and see. He's married. Somebody said he's married to Supermax. I don't know what's going on there, but it looks like a fight. We've actually strayed into dangerous territory here. The next photo was... Hopefully whatever went on, he's okay, I mean. Is that the fella who threatened to shoot me there, actually? What the fuck is going on there? That doesn't actually look like Supermax. Because all those tables... But look at look at the pants there. There's, start that out. He's got the shoes and socks on there. The pants are wrenched right up his hole. It's almost, what's he wearing there? He's got some special kind of socks on. That's pure Supermax. I mean, that isn't Supermax Charlestown, but maybe that's some behaviour in or outside of Supermax somewhere. And for some reason or other, that picture has made its way onto the Google review site for Supermax Plaza Charlestown. Or Charlestown Plaza featuring Supermax. Get it right. Turtle, thanks for the tip. Hi-Fi Low Life, Constipation Worries. We actually need to move now. Human Centipede, thank you very much for the tip. Who says, great trouser pocket situation. Just hope that guy is okay. Who takes... This is another thing now where I can actually agree with the nephew. When it comes to people taking photographs in public and all that, is that you see a lot of bad stuff going on to fellas and whatnot, people in public, and lads will be out there with the phones filming it, and it's like, that man needs help. That man needs help. But you're recording it and you're putting it on the internet for likes and shares. But at the same time, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't watching it and thinking, what happened next? So who's the problem here? The viewer? Or the recordist? Who knows? We're all part of the problem. Let's just say that. We're all part of the problem. Maybe it's one of those fancy dress costumes, and it's all one man. Says Clan MacArthur. I mean, that could be one of those situations, all right. You know, when you drive, it looks like they're fake legs, but his legs are this fella's legs are going down into this fella's pants. And these legs down the side are like fake legs that flap about in the wind like a jockey's legs. You know? But on closer inspection, the high visibility arm strap yoke there on his left arm would suggest some kind of security detail. And we can also see here a walkus-talkus strapped to this fella's waistline here. That could be another security detail situation. But it's great that the lads have the situation well and truly under control. And apologies to viewers here, because we were actually going through a delightful, delectable feast of food and chip and cake and pudding, and to just chance upon that, hopefully that hasn't, you know, upset anyone or triggered anyone, like any bad memories of getting done in by bouncers outside Supermax or anything like that. You know, I can bet that it has happened to maybe someone, or you have witnessed something, so hopefully you haven't had some sort of Vietnam-esque flashback. Super Sub, thanks for the tip. Are you planning an audacious escape swoop at Castlereagh Prison with the Cessna? I don't want to really be trying to free prisoners for the crack, you know, because, you know, a lot of people might actually be in there for some bad stuff. And to simply give them a buyout just because we want to have a bit of fun wouldn't stand. That's not going to hold water in the court of morality. But thanks for the tip anyways. We might try and land on it, but I won't try and liberate anyone. Just wanted to say from the nephew watching, the Disruptor long play was fantastic. Thanks very much, Jay from OSW. Commenting on the FMVs and scouring the gameplay for the best bits. Really just gets to the meat of it without the ball ache setting up the game. Look, I didn't play any of that stuff, I'm not arse, but I'd say that's the meat and potatoes of it, because there's only so much time in the world. We need to power through. Lads were saying you need to play it. You need to power through. Thanks very much, Google user, who says $2.99 sale on Sleeping Dogs for the stream for the future. You reminded me that we're doing a bloody stream. Thanks for the tip. We need to get going here, not spend all day looking at this and seeing what, and trying to wonder what was going on there. So we'll get out of there. Just to reiterate, we are at Supermax and Papa John's, the Charlestown Plaza. It's fantastic. Get down there while you can. It's a beautiful, beautiful situation. We're going to try and take off on this road here. We're parked just here. So we're going to use this as our runway and take off out of Charlestown. And then do a 180-degree turn in air, come back up over Charlestown, fly up to Knock Airport, and which is just here. Very close, look. I mean, Charlestown really got done dirty there, because It's technically Charlestown International Airport. Let's just say that. But it's the Knock lads who look at where Knock is. No offense to Knock. I'm not gonna knock. I'm not trying to have a go at you or knocky knock. But that is not your airport. Look, there's Knock there. There's Knock. There's the airport. There's Charlestown, and there's the airport. I'll leave it to you to decide what the real name of that is. Whether or not there was a priest up there doing the business, laying the foundations and all that sort of stuff. You really have to look at exactly where it is geographically now. Of course, it's known as Ireland West Airport. They've put that there, but it still has Knock in the title at the end. Do you know what I'm saying? It's Ireland West Airport Knock, so... Look, I could spend all day shouting on about that. Supermax Enjoyer, thank you very much for the tip there. And Owen Murphy, let's get out of town here. Let's get back to business. We've it's 10 to 3. We need to get to Castlereagh, and we need to get there fast. Hold on to your seats, because where we're going, we don't need roads. We actually do need them for the initial takeoff, but we don't need them once we get into the air. Thank you. Supermax Enjoyer, what's your Supermax order? Is it a 5 tenders and a taco chip for me? It's usually a small Coke, a taco chip, maybe an additional burger. Possibly an additional burger. Let's just get going. Here we go. Flaps up. Throttle. Launched. Charlestown Community Centre. Bypassed. Throttle back. Wheels up. Charlestown away, boys. Charlestown away. Tell you, we're struggling there a little bit getting out of town. We need to build up a bit of momentum here as we fly over Sonna. Lovely stuff. Hang on, where am I? I actually am lost now. Yet again. We're never gonna make it to Castlereagh if I'm arsing around here. I need to have a look and see. There's Sonna. Sorry, I'm going a completely wrong way here. I was looking for the mount or the hill and the airport. I was thinking, have they got rid of the fucking airport and the hill? They haven't. I'm just going west when I should have been going south. Now, there's the hill. I can see the airport just up here. And this was where Joe Biden had 2 planes, would you believe? He had Marine One, which was the helicopters. He had his Air Force One and a secondary Air Force One backup plane. And I was up there on the night that he was he was giving his speech in Ballina, probably maybe less than a year ago, maybe 11 and a half months ago. I went up for a look up here, and it was SWAT team, Gardaí, cameras, all sorts. But they allowed me to drive by and have a go-see gander at Juicy Joe's. rig out, and it was fantastic. And the word on the street is that he went through Swinford in his car that night after the bloody speech. But that would make me wonder who was in the helicopter. So maybe Juicy Joe wasn't in the helicopters, and it was just his entourage and his security detail. But the planes were actually parked right down there, which is a private plane scenario. That's your airport there. Look at that car park, it's beautiful. That's Knock. That's Knock International Airport. We've landed there, we've taken off from there. We've seen it all, we've done it, we've flown it. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna get to Castlereagh, because I'm enjoying this part of Mayo so much that I'm thinking, do we even leave? Do we even leave? I look at this part of Mayo as like Hotel California. You can check in any time you want, but you can never leave. In a good way, because you're enjoying yourself too much. Not in a bad way, like you're trapped or anything like that. But that's sensational. That's sensational. Charlestown International Airport. That's how I'm going. That's how I'm naming it. Just gonna show you this roundabout down here. I love it. Thank you very much there, Plaza Enthusiast and Gaza Airdrop and Owen Murphy and who says, would you consider liberating an innocent prisoner in Castlereagh? I won't at the moment. Gaza Airdrop, you could airdrop a few cold chans and baby cows for the people. I don't know whether or not that would be suitable. I mean, is that kind of making light of the situation? I mean, I would actually like to raise... I'd like to fly over the actual Gaza Strip itself to see how big a strip it is, just to actually show what you're dealing with. We could get an idea of how big Israel is, and then we could look at the Gaza Strip and see quite exactly what people are forced to live in, you know, in that kind of area. It looks as though you could fly it in no time, could you? 26 miles long, you wouldn't be long flying it. I'd recommend against doing that on YouTube, says GAR. I understand, and I would as well. And look, it's a disgusting scenario out there. It's not to be fodder for a stream at all. But if it was framed in such a way, i.e. trying to raise greater awareness of the geographical parameters, and we could even look at the fishing parameters that are being set by Israel. They're not even allowed to go outside a certain area of water, and even then they can't even fish peacefully in their own waters because there's kind of unexploded ordnance and possibly, you know, you piss off the wrong IDF, you get fucking done. And this is Harrington's quarry down here. A lovely bit of quarry, and you might actually be on the radar of a few rally enthusiasts, because I remember going down to watch a few rally boys down there. A lot of Nordies, heavily into the motorsports. It seemed to be chock full of Nordies down there the day I was there. The Nordies seem to have a bit of a... I don't know, they have a drive about them to do the most insane stuff in cars and on bikes. More so than any part of the country. I don't know what it is about. Maybe it's just... Is it wilder up there or what? But it seems to breed a certain type of thrill seeker that just loves to speed. They can't get enough of it. I heartily recommend watching the film about I think it was Joey Dunlap. I'm not sure, but it was a road racing film documentary that was out in 2012 or 13. The speed of those boys, unbelievable. Somebody in the chat might let me know what it's called now. It's not Fatal Deviation. Road, is it? Is it simply called Road? Says Dylan. It's not called Tarmac 2. Tar Harder. We're not going to make it to Castlereagh because I've become distracted by quarry and roundabout action. Unbelievable stuff. Jeez, maybe getting behind a bike, a Manx TT Superbike on the stream. I wonder, can you buy those simulated bikes that you get in the arcade? I don't know how I would get it into this room and how much of a ball ache that would be. Setting that up, I'm sure someone's doing something like that. They cost a fortune, says Simos 404. It's not like this flight stick here. Ergas job or Amazon job. Kenny, thank you very much for the tip. And Andy the Fork, thank you very, very much for the tip. Kenny is saying, what happened to all the episodes of Viper's View? Well, look, we won't talk much about that now. Something happened there a couple of years ago. And anything related to the Russian boys kind of was looked unfavorably by Papa Google and the boys. So that's gonzo. But lads up the town say that they're using VPNs to access sites, but I doubt you can even. Can you get it on a VPN, can you? How would that work? Because Google have banned, YouTube have banned it, so surely that's banned in Russia as well. Surely that's YouTube saying to Russia, no, we're not going to host your content. Look, I'm not sure. But there's ways and means. I know lads out there that know things, But you know yourself. You can be asking people stuff, but there's only one person that you really want to ask, and that's Papa Google. He has all the answers some days. But I doubt even Papa Google would be able to make it to Castlereagh at the moment, because there's so much to see here up at Knock Airport. You have Kilkelly just over there, and another exceptional quarry belonging to Harrington just over there, beyond there. There is Kilmavee and an Abbey, an old-time Abbey. We might go look at that, actually. There's simply too much to see in this location. I just want to land and take off again. And then we'll head down to URLAUR Abbey. Heading to Cavan anytime soon, Ashgard. Look, today is we're just breaking the ice. We're just beginning to get to grips with it again. I can't get to Cavan today, but there's a whole island to explore. Do you not realize we'd be here? There's a lifetime of sights. You know, technology has evolved, and the rapidity and pace of change of technology has gone so fast that we don't even know ourselves anymore. Relationships are changing. The way we interact, the way we find out information is changing. The way we work, the way we play, how we learn, how we evolve. A lot of it for the bad, terrible, but a lot of it for the good as well. This level of freedom was never open to us, sure. This level of information, it's all out there. We're only touching the surface. Let's land this kite down at Knock Airport. Show them how it's done. and then head to an old abbey, Franciscan job. There's simply too much to be getting on with here. You know, can you imagine having this level of detail and information back in the day? Look at this. Throttle down, flaps away. Look at the landing. It's just so smooth. It's like caressing the tarmacadam with a feather. Don't know why you'd ever actually do that in reality. But I'm sure there's somebody out there who enjoys that kind of crack. This is it. We're here. A lovely job. Like butter. Pure creamery. Forget about your olive oil. We only want to lubricate our meals with pure, unadulterated creamery. Sensual. Sensational. Hard to beat. Smell of screeching rubber on the tarmacadam. Andy the Fork, thanks very much for the tip. Nothing like waking up to a lovely sky tour, you say. Great to have you back in the cockpit. Thank you very much there. Thanks very much for the tip, Scrum Diddley Dumplings. Charlene Spiteri joining me in the house there as well. You can't beat it. You can't beat it. Wow. Pure Knock Airport. Almost getting emotional, to be honest. It's been a long time since back behind the cockpit. It's the wheellight. Just nearly bring a tear to your eye. Let's get going again. Taps away. Whew. Someone chopping onions in here. Wow. Does anybody know the name of the priest that did the handiwork out here? Bonus points if you know his name. Remember Pope John Paul II, aka Father Chen from Shenmue 2. Father Chen. He kissed the ground at Knock when he arrived in Ireland. Monsignor Horan, German Finity, bonus points. Thank you very much there, Air Shingus. We're just between Knock Airport and Kilkelly here. We're gonna swing a left. We might go over another quarry actually, yeah, we're not gonna make it to Castlereagh. We're actually only going to make it as far as maybe URLAUR Abbey. We'll have a look at that Abbey. And possibly we might squeeze in another quarry, but I'm not going to promise that. I'm not quarry promises. There are no little coffee huts in the vicinity there, your old lady. Thank you very much for joining us on this stream. There aren't any at all, but we should be coming up to Kilmavee. I can see these little lakeins here. And honestly now, it's on a beautiful, if you get a nice day and the weather is going to start picking up, obviously next week we're promised a bit of snow and it's going to start freezing, but Say this time next month now, you might start getting the weather. There's going to be an extra hour of daylight there in a couple of weeks' time, week and a half. Get on down to URLAUR Abbey and have a look at this beautiful, peaceful lake down here. It's just past Kilmavie. Fantastic stuff altogether. Might have to just pause that for a second and make sure I'm actually looking at the right... There's a few lake-ins here. We just see here. Thanks very much for the tip there, lads. Laura from Troy. Yeah, I hope you're getting on well. And Slug Shining, thank you very much for the tip. Laura from Troy says, you're a hero in Troy, which is a place in New York. We went to Ireland last year, but just spat out slug quotes the entire time. I bought everyone Club Orange from the Irish import store for Christmas, just so I could say, look at that, I'm a Club Orange now. And that's the quote you've done. That's great. Slight inconsistency. I'm not sure I said no in that video at the end, but look, we won't dock you any points for that. I'd simply say thank you very much, and I hope that you had a great time and that you come back and that, look, you might have actually been ripped off. You'd want to buy from a wholesaler, because if you buy one from one of those stores in the States that does the care packages, I think there might be an additional. Plus, New York, I hear it's a devil for the sales tax. A devil for... A devil. Oh, you bought it from Ireland, did you? Okay, maybe you didn't get taxed too much, but look, you're still paying a pretty penny these days. Soft drinks have gone up. You're paying what? You're paying what for a can? You're paying nearly €2, maybe $1.50. If you are here again, and if you're flying into Knock or Charlestown International Airport, get yourself down to Home Savers. They have a chiller there. They're selling cans of Coca-Cola, Iron Brew, Club Orange, Rock Shandy, Tizer, Football Special, the whole shebang. Very cheap prices, very nice prices. I think you're getting ripped off in those import stores. Slug Shining, thanks for the tip. Hope you're getting on well, Tommy. Beautiful day to fire up the Cessna. It is indeed, but I'm talking shite. We need to move on at pace. The airport was just here. Thanks very much there, Pinhead Larry. We're flying over these lakes here, so I'm correct in saying that URLAUR is there. So the first lake we fly over, and then we land in between these two lakes. There's a road that goes down to the Abbey. That's where we want to land, just in between these two lakes on that road there. Let's see if we've got what it takes. Pan. Thank you very much for the tip there. There we can see that lake there. That's our first one. The Abbey should be just down there. I can see the road as well. We might need to take a turn if we're going to land down there. Old Landini and the boys. Abby Titmus. Shout out for Abby Titmus in the chat there. Should have something. There's Kilmavie in the distance, but we're interested in landing down on that road. I can see it now. We just need 180. Does that detail come as standard, or is it an extra download, says Mark? The Abbey itself, we don't know if it's there. It's touch and go as to whether or not that Abbey is going to be there. But after 4 years, 3 years out of the cockpit, I can safely say the detail seemingly has got better. I downloaded the DLC. There's a UK and Ireland Places of Interest DLC. And I think that has given us a one-to-one replication of certain sites, like the Rock of Cashel, which we landed on, which in 2020 just looked like a Soviet block of flats, has now been rendered in pure time. absolute pure time. It's like you're actually there at the Abbey, so we might go back down there again at the Rock Cashel. Now, flaps down, throttle off. We can see what we're dealing with. It looks nice. Down there. The Soviet brutalist architecture is grim enough to look at, says Perestroika. It is, but it's great for landing on. I wonder, was that part of their thinking when they made those big blocky buildings? Pure hangage. Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, but it's... Look, we did it. Lovely. Yeah, that's gonna be... That would have definitely done damage on the wheels and the axle and whatever you call them. There's a big dip here. Yeah, you need to park your car. Usually you park your car just here where I'm... But then you need to watch out. Oh, Christ, we took down a tree there. We're doing a bit of forestry there. I think these trees are protected. Yep. Not anymore, anyway. Look, there's the Abbey. It looks like a factory now. Well, would you look at that? An 11th century Abbey. Absolutely beautiful stuff. A thing of beauty. Can you imagine the monks getting up in the morning, rolling up those shutters and saying, "How are you, Jesus? We love you." Or God. I'm not sure whether or not... Was Jesus a big thing then in the 11th? He was, yeah, actually. Christianity, of course. The clue is in the name. But they'd wake up in the morning, they'd get the shutters up for the deliveries of incense, I would imagine. Say a few prayers, ring a few bells, do a bit of fishing. Thanks for the tip. Thank you very much there for the tip there. 11th century piece of pudding. It looks like a Gothic architecture, says Wonky Kong. Wonkus Kongus. But that is URLAUR Abbey. Let's have a look on the mainframe there to see what we're dealing with in reality, because this is the road here we just after landed down. I'm going to take us on a little walk just down that road to show you how realistic it was. Now, up here, I'd say we landed just... I'd say we hit the deck just here. No, actually, we did see a road to the right, so we hit the deck just here. This is where you usually park your car. And look at the likeness of the hill that we went down, and the trees are definitely there on the left, so the game is definitely, or the simulation is definitely up to its game in terms of likeness. And here is that Abbey to the left. That's where we're actually parked kite-wise. Can we go further down there? We can't. That's as far as our street view will take us. And look at the similarity and the likeness of the Abbey there. It is 1-to-1 scale with the where we've landed. It's 1-to-1 and it looks exactly like it. You can even see the shutters there, where the monks would have raised the shutters. It's uncanny. Let's get a little... Look at that. Wow. I mean, you can't say fairer than that. Rendered precisely. Unbelievable to imagine that there was monks doing their stuff way back when, in this gaff. And I'm sure we've got some beautiful photography of the area as well. Sensational stuff. Look at that. You know, it's a painting. It's like a painting. That's why I was saying you need to get down there if you can. Like something out of Highlander. Wow. Very nice. Look at that. Beautiful stuff. Just down the road from the airport. Oh yeah. You know, a bit of epic photography. You know, a bit of Andre, yeah. Bad piping. Very nice. Very nice. Father Patrick Sharkey, the last Dominican friar in URLAUR. Buried in this cell. Bloody hell. It's a cell in there, I didn't know that. Splinter cell. Sharkey and George. So that's how clean the water is as well. It's a Kilmavie water scheme. Washing of animals is strictly prohibited. But I seen fellas fishing down there before. So that's okay, apparently. Beautiful tree. And look at that, on a day like that, you can't stay fairer than that. You can even get a look inside the little nooks and crannies. Even on a grey day, you'd find something nice to sing about. Down there, down to the what would you call that? Dungeons. There's dungeons in it as well, like. Dungeons and Dragons. Now, can we take off here? This is... this is the question. The $1,000,000 question. I'm going to have to turn around and go back uphill here to take off. Have we got the room for it? We haven't. Fuck yeah. How do we reverse? Reverse! What the hell's going on here? Where... Oh, that's we're inside the Abbey here. The plane is halfway inside the Abbey, look. Jesus Christ. I'm not sure how... We can't even see the controls to reverse. We're clipped in. Epic history. We've stepped into history, stepping into the past. There we go. Back in the air. Are we above the bloody Abbey though? That's the thing. That's fantastic. That's the quick start we needed years ago. Here's me years ago. I'd be resetting the kite, and I'd have to reset way back when, where we started off, probably back over FOXFORD. But this new fangled device lets you just go straight back into the air above the Abbey itself. That's a wonderful piece of beef. And it's brought us to the limit here. It was a quick blast, but it was a blast nonetheless. And I want to say thank you very much for joining me today. That was only just a quick taster, and I'm glad to have got back to it. It's been an absolute honour and a privilege to get behind the cockpit yoke again and go flying around the locality and see a few sights and get the street view going. Google Maps, in and of itself, one of my most favourite inventions of technology in the world. But it really is an honour and a privilege, and thank you very much for joining us and wishing me well and tipping and gliding and all that sort of stuff. It's beautiful to see. We'll be back again at some stage, because I'm dying to see more stuff in the area and maybe even leave the island itself. People are saying sorties out to New York, sorties out to Gaza. I'm not too sure about that. Could be controversial, might get us taken down. But look, you can't stop the Cessna. When I'm behind this, and we've Charlene as well, keeping us company in a lovely, what looks like a lovely brown leather jacket. Fair play to her. I feel like an absolute king of the skies. So we'll talk to you later on, and thank you very much for joining us. It's been a lovely, lovely little couple of hours. Very stylish, thank you. Lovely slice of cake. Tabona away. Thanks for the tip. Thanks for the tip. You're coming in quick. Lovely piece of cake. A nice cup of tea. We're well on our way, flying every day, taking out the kite, feeling really nice, seeing Mayo, on you go, lovely little lake, Abbey in the cliff. I'm up to a Castlereagh, cause I got the NCT, and I'm off to Castlereagh. Up Mayo! What am I now? What am I now? Up Mayo, up Mayo, up! Up Mayo, up Mayo, up! Up Mayo, up! What am I now? Give it, up! With a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and a little bit of this, and a little bit of that. What am I now? Little bit of this, little... Ah!